All right, the end is almost here for Hawkins. With the final season of Stranger Things just around the corner, we are doing a full-speed breakdown of all 4 seasons. All the horror, all the monsters, to get you totally ready for that epic final battle.
And really, this is the big question, isn't it? How did a story about a missing kid in a sleepy little town somehow blow up into a full-on war for the fate of the world? Well, we're going to trace that path, step by step, from one monster to a threat that could end everything.
So let's rewind. It all kicks off in November 1983 in Hawkins, Indiana. After a long game of Dungeons & Dragons, Will Byers vanishes into thin air. That one event starts this frantic search that pulls back the curtain on their town, And it reveals something truly sinister hiding just out of sight.
Now, in their search for Will, his friends stumble onto something else entirely. A girl with a shaved head who can move things with her mind, 11, and she is the absolute key. She's the one who shows them this other horrifying reality that's right next to ours, this dark, cold, twisted version of their world that she just calls the Upside Down.
So when you boil it all down, Season 1 is pretty straightforward. A secret government lab makes a huge mistake, tears a hole in reality, and lets out this one awful monster. But in a twist of fate, their experiment also created the one person who could actually fight it, 11. It's a small, contained horror story, right? For now, at least.
Yeah, it doesn't stay small and contained for very long. So let's get into how this thing grows, how we go from a single creature in the woods to a planned, strategic invasion that's aiming right for the heart of Hawkins.
And here it is, the game changer. The threat levels up big time. It's not just a physical animal anymore. It's an intelligent, psychic being called the Mind Flayer. And its goal isn't just to eat, it wants to conquer. It wants our world, and it plans to do it by taking over the people who live there, starting with the very kid they just rescued, Will Byers.
And this really shows you the jump in the stakes. We go from a lone hunter to a hive mind, from something that can just physically hurt you to something that can corrupt you from the inside out. It's not just a monster movie anymore. It's become a war for the actual soul of the town.
So by the time we hit the end of Season 3, our heroes have managed to close the gate twice. But look at the cost. Will is deeply traumatized. Billy's gone. And Hopper? Well, everyone thinks he's dead. The team is broken and scattered. And the worst part? They have no idea that the real intelligence behind it all is still out there, just watching them, waiting.
Okay, Season 4. This is where everything we thought we knew just gets completely flipped on its head. This is the season where the true villain, the real mastermind, finally decides to show his face.
And his name is Vecna. With him, the fight becomes so much more personal. We're not just fighting monsters from another dimension. We're fighting the dark wizard who's been pulling the strings all along. He's this terrifying, thinking creature who uses his victims' worst memories against them, and he has this chilling, direct connection to both Eleven and Hawkins.
And then comes the twist. Oh, what a twist. Vecna isn't some random monster from the Upside Down. He's Henry Creel. He's 001, the very first psychic kid from Hawkins' lab. He was Dr. Brenner's original experiment, and a young 11 is the one who banished him to that dimension all those years ago.
Now, to fight a threat this huge, our team has to split up for the first time. They're literally scattered all over the world. You've got one group fighting Vecna's curse back in Hawkins, another trying to get Eleven's powers back in Nevada, and a third trying to break Hopper out of a Russian prison. Everybody's got a piece of the puzzle.
And then they figure out the most chilling part of all. The Demogorgon, the Mind Flayer, none of it was random. As you can see, it was all him. It was all part of Vecna's long game, orchestrated from the very beginning. Every monster was just another move on his chessboard, in a personal war against Eleven and our world.
And even with everybody fighting as hard as they can, Vecna, well, he succeeds. He gets his 4 victims, and he rips these giant, fiery gates across Hawkins, devastating the town. He finally merges his world with ours. And that's where we leave off. The invasion isn't coming anymore. It is here.
So, what does that mean for the grand finale? Season 5 has to be the culmination of everything we've just talked about. Every monster, every sacrifice. This is it. This is the end game.
Okay, first thing you need to know, Vecna is still kicking. And he and the Mind Flayer aren't just partners anymore. They've essentially become one thing, a single, unified hive mind. It's one all-powerful consciousness, and it's the biggest threat they've ever faced.
Second point,
The fight isn't about closing a gate anymore. The gate is wide open. The Upside Down is actively bleeding into our world, literally transforming it, and Hawkins is the terrifying ground zero for this full-scale invasion.
And third, it all comes back to Will Byers, the kid who started this whole mess. He's coming full circle. That psychic link he has, that feeling he gets on the back of his neck, for so long it's been a source of trauma, but now it's going to be their secret weapon. It's the key to finding Vecna's weakness and finally winning this war. So, what should we expect? Well, the entire team is finally back together for one last mission. We are going to see 11 absolutely unleash her full potential. We're going to get some real answers about what the Upside Down even is, and let's be honest, it's going to come with massive destruction and almost certainly some truly heartbreaking goodbyes.
Which leaves us with the biggest question of all as we head into this final fight. The stakes aren't just for Hawkins anymore. They're for the whole world. And after everything these characters have been through, who is going to be the one to make that final ultimate sacrifice to save everyone else? I guess we're all going to have to wait and see.